Do you have a problem with wanting something and then your mind gets in the way and basically convinces you that it's not possible? Well, I'm going to go over a way around that. Our mind was developed on this planet a long time ago. Well, actually, your mind was developed when you were born, and it's redeveloping every single moment as we pass into different realities. But let's just say, evolutionarily speaking, in that construct, the mind was developed in a dangerous external environment. And so it's always projecting into the future, and it's got fear because it's paying attention for fear because it's always looking out for things that are going to take out the body system. And sometimes when we want something or we're trying to go for a goal or an achievement, the mind gets in the way and says, no, you're not good enough, you can't do it. So let's talk about how to get around that. Well, the way that the mind does that is it looks at future scenarios that can be threats, and it latches onto that, and it brings alert systems to that, and it tries to convince the body to not go there, right? So if you are walking near the cliff of a mountain and your body's gonna say like, hey, this is getting kind of dangerous, let's move away from the cliff so that we don't fall, right? But if you'd already been walking on the cliff for 30 minutes, your body doesn't try and go into the past and convince you to not walk on the cliff, right? So this mind thing, this future fear recognition is only working in the future. So when you want things, just simply think about them as if they already happened. And that is actually true on many different levels, but that's not the purpose of this video. We need to start talking about time not existing linearly and using those lenses to perceive reality. However, I'm not going to get into that, but just trick yourself, even though it's true, but just trick yourself into thinking that what you want has already happened. And you'll notice that your mind doesn't get into the way. So we all have something we want that we're striving for. That's actually an untrue statement. At some level, you'll stop striving for things and you'll just be perfectly in the flow. However, those of you watching, if you have something you want, I want you to think about it as if it already happened. And you'll notice that the rejection of the mind doesn't get in the way. It might get in the way of thinking this drill is stupid, what is he talking about? However, let's just try and put all of that aside so I can move on with the lesson. If we can get ourselves into a point where we can perceptually feel the circumstance that we are going towards without the mind saying, no, you can't do that. No one's gonna like you if you do that. You don't have enough money to do that. What if this, what if that? If the mind turns off with all of that stuff, then we can actually start looking around in the scenario and figuring it out a lot better. So this drill is necessary. Nothing's necessary. This drill is helpful when projecting towards future events and determining if you really want it, how you're gonna feel when it's there, what other decisions do you need to take into account when achieving the goal, right? Because it's not just achieving the goal, it's what happens when you get there. And sometimes you can't get to those step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 things that you also need to think about because the mind prevents you from even getting to step 1. So if you start thinking about things in the past, it allows a more full spectrum analysis of the desired outcome.